Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurwani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation continues from Gaudi Goreri, Mahalla Panjwa. The recitation for the day is Agale Mue se Pachey Pare, jo bare se band lak khare, jeh tande meh poe laptaye, unte dugan tidi unmaye, ਉਹ ਬੇਲਾ ਕਛ ਚੀਤ ਨ ਆਵੈ, ਬਿਨ ਸਜਾਏ ਤਾਹੂ ਲਪਟਾਵੈ ਰਹਾਉ। ਆਸਾ ਬੰਦੀ ਮੂਰਖ ਦੇਹ, ਕਾਮ ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਲਪਟਿਓ ਅਸਨੇਹ। ਸਿਰ ਊਪਰ ਠਾਂਡੋ ਧਰਮ ਰਾਏ, ਮੀਠੀ ਕਰ ਕਰ ਬਿਖਿਆ ਖਾਏ। ਹਉ ਬੰਦੋ ਹਉ ਸਾਧੋ ਬੈਰ, ਹਮਰੀ ਭੂਮ ਕੌਣ ਘਾਲੇ ਪੈਰ। ਹਉ ਪੰਡਿਤ ਹਉ ਚਤੁਰ ਸਿਆਣਾ, ਕਰਨੇ ਹਾਰ ਨ ਬੁਝੇ ਬੇਗਾਨਾ। ਆਪਣੀ ਗਤਿ ਮਿਤੀ ਆਪੇ ਜਾਣੈ, ਕਿਆ ਕੋ ਕਹੈ ਕਿਆ ਆਖ ਵਖਾਣੈ। ਜਿਤ ਜਿਤ ਲਾਵੈ ਤਿਤ ਤਿਤ ਲਗਨਾ, ਆਪਣਾ ਭਲਾ ਸਭ ਕਾਹੂ ਮੰਗਣਾ। ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਤੇਰਾ ਤੂੰ ਕਰਨੇ ਹਾਰ, ਅੰਤ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਪਾਰਾਵਾਰ। ਦਾਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋ ਦੀਜੈ ਦਾਨ, ਕਬਹੂ ਨ ਵਿਸਰੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ। In this passage, the central message is that we just simply fail to learn from generations that have gone by, or even from our own experiences. And what is it that we have to learn? We simply have to learn that the pursuit of transitory pleasures, or the pursuit of Maya, to put it more broadly, is really the root affliction that we all suffer from. So in the opener, the fifth Nanak says, Agale Mue se Pachey Pare. Agale Mue so Pachey Pare. Mue means dead. And here, the Guru is not talking about physical death, but signifies spiritually dead. Agale Mue se Pachey Pare. Agale Mue suggesting generations gone by have pursued Maya and perished. But se Pachey Pare, they have been put behind us, they have been forgotten. And jo ubre, successive generations that have arisen, ubre means to arise, se band lak khare. Lak means waist, to tighten the waist, meaning with more resolve. So successive generations are just as determined in their pursuit. Jeh tande meh oe laptaye, unte dugna didi unamaye. They're engaged in the pursuit of Maya with twice the resolve. Dugni. Dugni dridi. Dridi is resolve. So with twice the resolve, not less. So things are getting worse. Now, perishing in the pursuit of Maya is not suggestive simply of the chase for material goods or being materialistic. That's a very narrow view of things. What it really implies is chasing the phantom of the material world, of the senses, of being lost in the senses, and of being deluded by the ego home. That is the root of our afflictions, which is not to realize the transitory nature of our physical existence and instead grasping at straws. So let's learn from our mistakes. Let's learn from the mistakes of generations that have gone by and not repeat history. But the Guru's central message is a lament. He says, "Oh bela kach jeet na aave, bin sajaye tahu laptaave." This is the problem statement. Not for an instant does the moment of death enter our mind. O Bela, that moment, kach chit na aave. Kach is not even for an instant does it enter our mind. Binas jaye tahu laptaave. Binas jaye, that which is fleeting, that degrades. We cling to that which is fleeting. And that is why we are afflicted and unhappy. Because asa bandi murkh dehe, we are foolish. Kaam krodh laptyo asnehe, and the foolish are driven by desire, by anger, by unctuousness. And the foolish tie their hopes to the degradable body. That's what the Guru is talking about over and over again. And for that reason, we tie ourselves to transitory pleasures and sensations. While sir upar thando tarmarai, death which is imminent. And here the phrase that has been used is sir upar, like hovering over our heads, and yet we remain oblivious. And in such a manner do we consume sweet poison. Mitha karkar bikhiya khai. Not only that, but we go further than that. Here is a picture of how we live. How bando, how saddo bhair, we take on conflict with a great deal of resolve and hatred. How bando, how saddo bhair. Saddo is to resolve, to become determinate, to make it our goal. Bhair is hatred or contradiction or opposition. How do we do this? A couple of examples are provided. Hamri bom kaun kale pair. We challenge any incursion into our lands and territories, or at least land and territory that we consider to be our own. We do it by asserting that we are learned and clever. How pandit, how chatur. But this is ignorance. And in our ignorance, we lack awareness of the doer. Karne har na bujhe begana. Begana here means ignorant. We are alienated, we are foreign to the idea of the Karanahar. And then the Guru asks, why do we need to seek our own well-being? Apna pala sab kahu mange. Why? Why do we need to do that? In other words, what he's saying is we don't need to do that because it is the self that is engaged and drives us in whatever direction it pleases. Jit jit lave tit tit lagana. So it is inevitable that we will be engaged in pursuits that the self motivates us to do so. Because the self alone knows its direction and its measure. Apni gat mid aap jaane. Gat, its motion, its condition. Mid is measure. It knows exactly what it is doing, in other words. And it is driving the entire course of the universe. So why do we need to be worried about our well-being? That is really the message. Because it is beyond us to say or to describe kya aakh vakhanne. And Guru Arjan concludes here by reiterating that fact. He says, Sab kich tera tu karne har, ant nahi kich parawar. All belongs to you, O Creator, you are indeed the prime motivator, the doer, and you are without end. You are without boundaries. And so, the Sabad concludes with a supplication, with an asking. Bestow the servant with the gift of constant self-awareness. May I ever be guided by self-wisdom. Das apne ko dije daan, the gift. And what is that gift? Kabhu na visare, Nanak, Naam. Now, Naam is perhaps the most prevalent concept in Gurbani, but also the least understood because it is used in many connotations, in many contexts. But for our purposes here, Naam signifies the essence of the manifest creator, that is to say, determinate reality, what we see around us. It is the essence. Think of it as a generic term that refers to the creative potency of the universe. And so, like the creator, Naam is also eternal and not subject to degradation, and therefore it is the only thing, if it is a thing at all, that is worth holding on to. In us, in humans, it manifests as self-knowledge or wisdom, which then becomes our compass, our guide. And it invests us with a joyful playfulness through the ups and downs of life. And in the end, remember that it is a rare thing to have. On that note, until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.